For today's Cyber CEO episode,
it's at the point now to where he just expects I'm going to give him 3 or 4 curveballs in the morning, and he's going to tell me, well, this is worth looking at, or this is redundant and we don't need to look at it. And it's a beautiful thing, because then I can just concentrate on doing the things that I need to do, lead generation and that kind of thing that brings in more leads and business into the team. Mel is there. He has earned our trust. Anything that I've given him has gotten done. Pretty quickly you go, well, if I hand this off to Mel, just count it as done. That gives you the trust. We just couldn't be happier.
welcome to Cyber CEO, wherein we talk about how our cyberbackers helped our cyber CEOs take their businesses to the next level. Cyber CEO is powered by Cyberbacker, the world's leading provider of admin support services from anywhere in the world to anyone in the world. Please visit our website www.cyberbacker.com for more details. Another awesome day here at Cyberbacker. My name is Jello. We're back with another episode of Cyber CEO. And of course, we have a very special guest on the show. Mark, how are you doing today?
I'm doing fantastic. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing wonderful. Thank you very much for asking and for dropping by. I know you have a lot of things to do. Really appreciate you being on the show. Now, to start things off, to let you know, we have a lot of listeners who are business owners just like yourself. So I need your help. Can you introduce yourself to our audience? Maybe we can start with, what's your role in the business, Mark?
Co-owner. Mark Gibson is my name. My wife and I have been in real estate since 2006, and we run a small team here called Your Texas Dream Team with Keller Williams Heritage.
Right. Now, how long have you been in the world of real estate, Mark?
Since 2006.
2006. A lot of experience right there in the real estate world. But how about working with someone virtual, just like what you're doing now with Cyberbacker? Is this your first time to do it?
It's not. We tried it probably 3 years ago with not with Cyberbacker, but fairly close to the same scenario as far as it was out of the Philippines, and we tried 2 different. Neither were a good match. We were pretty soured on the whole idea, to tell you the truth.
Ooh. So took you a long time then to try the virtual leverage piece then after that, I'm assuming here.
Yeah, from that, we just decided that wasn't a good, it wasn't a good model. And we went ahead and hired an in-house full-time who we had for a few years.
All right. So what sparked the idea again? Hey, maybe I can try virtual leverage again, just Cyberbacker, things like that.
Well, we believe in coaching, and our coaches were using Cyberbacker with Keller Williams. And then when you guys were at our mega agent camp this last year, and one of the people, one of the talks was an agent who was using Cyberbacker, and his Cyberbacker sat in the background while he was making cold calls and took notes and put them directly into his database and that kind of thing. And Cheryl and I looked at each other and go, well, that wasn't the experience we had, so maybe it's worth trying again.
There we go. But again, how long have you been working with Cyberbacker now?
So we went ahead and signed up there at Mega Agent Camp, and so we started right then and kind of and started with the interview process and that kind of thing. So it's been a few months now.
Few months into the partnership. Now, we already talked about it, the hiring process, the interview process. So how did that experience go for you? Interviewing potential cyberbackers through Zoom, multiple people, things like that. Tell me more about your experience.
We really, the process, I think, was very intelligent. It really allowed the cream to rise, if you will, because again, we were leery with what we had gone through before, and we didn't pull any punches with putting together what we were looking for. That it was vital for them to be productive from day one. That if we picked up the phone, they needed to answer the phone. If we emailed or text, they needed to be there during working hours. And the expectation was that you're joining the team and every member of the team is responsible for generating income. And we pressed those buttons through the interview process with the 10 prospects, and the right choice became pretty self-evident pretty quickly.
The only choice. Again, now you've been working with your Cyberbacker for a few months. Talk to me about the tasks then. What are the tasks that you leverage off to him every day?
Okay, so Mel, he's my, if I have an idea, now he has quickly earned our trust to where if I have an idea, hey, Mel, check out this app. It's called Trello. And I'm thinking about using them for boards for our transaction to close. And I want you to do some investigating on it. And we'll talk about it tomorrow. And you tell me what you find. You see if it feels like it's a good fit. And I've done that with a couple of different things to where now I trust him. And he'll say, this was interesting. Let's look at this and look at that. And then we'll take a deeper dive into it. And that's an example of something that we did integrate into our contract to close, which was something that I had farmed out and that now Mel has taken on the contract to close, and is going through that kind of learning process as we dive through. But we've automated the process, and we're far more organized now than we were before Mel came on board.
There we go. So mainly transaction coordination is his one thing. Is that right? Mainly. That's
his big thing right now. But the other thing is that we had an in-house that we lost early this past spring. It was a fairly sudden loss, and a lot of our database maintenance kind of fell to the wayside as we just continued to focus on sales. A lot of the things that help you going forward with sales fell to the wayside, and those were the first things that we tasked Mel with, was getting our database reorganized, getting marketing going to the database, action plans, those kinds of things. He took the ball and honestly just took it and ran.
Okay, so he's really almost everywhere then in the business, because anything you throw at him, he got it. Something like
absolutely.
that.
Absolutely. It's at the point now to where he just expects I'm going to give him 3 or 4 curveballs in the morning. And he's going to tell me, well, this is worth looking at, or this is redundant and we don't need to look at it. And it's a beautiful thing, because then I can just concentrate on doing the things that I need to do, lead generation and that kind of thing that brings in more leads and business into the team.
Yes, definitely. Again, someone who's very accountable for their role. Again, someone who's very accountable to your success, of course. Now, you mentioned the big word earlier, trust. How do you build trust with someone who's virtual, Mark?
I was really concerned about that, to tell you the truth. And my experience now has shown me that it wasn't. It just takes the right person, the right person that is willing to be accountable for all of the hours of the time that they're supposed to be there working. Mel is there. He has earned our trust. Anything that I've given him has gotten done. And so that pretty quickly you go, well, if I hand this off to Mel, just count it as done. That gives you the trust, and if it doesn't get done, there's a very specific reason of, well, I ran into this. What should I do here? And then we tackle it from there. But the trust is earned from doing, and Mel's a doer.
Yes, definitely. Again, because you just don't trust anyone just day one. You try to build on that too, and vice versa. And they would trust you too, right? Exactly. And that's where we really benefited from setting the expectation in the interview process, that from day one, you've got to do the things that help us generate income. You got to pay for yourself. You pay for yourself, and Mel does. Yes, definitely. Now, more about the partnership that you have with Meldon. Aside from trust, how do you create a strong and successful partnership with someone who's virtual? Because for sure, some of our listeners might be going through this for the first time, working with someone virtual. So do you have any tips that you can share, Mark?
Well, the communication is key. We start off every single morning with a Zoom call with Mel that we go through the transaction board. We go through the past tasks and organization and those kinds of things. So in that regard, it's not any different than when I had somebody one desk behind me, because, and that's what I really found surprising, is that it's really just not that different other than the cost scenario. I'm getting the same level of leverage and productivity for Mel that I had before, if not more. He's a highly qualified individual at half the cost. So that just makes sense.
There we go. Now, one last thing. I know we've been talking about Mel for a while now, and for sure, once we have this online, he's going to be able to watch and listen to this. So we'd like to know, what do you like most about the Mel? What's the first thing that comes to mind when we talk about your Cyberbacker?
Well, I know I've said it, but it's the leverage that he gives us. He gives Cheryl and I the leverage to do what we need to do, which is get on the phone, make cold calls, bring in new business in. And he gives us that we didn't have before we brought Mel in. And just being, he's part of the team. It doesn't matter where he's at. He is he has made himself just as part of the team as if he was sitting behind me at the desk. And that's what we were looking for. And that's what we got in spades. So we just couldn't be happier.
One team, one family, of course. And we are very, very excited to see where this partnership grows to, of course, for the next couple of months. And again, Mark, thank you very much for dropping by today. I had fun talking to you.
You have a fantastic day.
Thank you for listening to our daily dose of CyberCEO. Stay tuned to know more about how Cyberbacker creates a difference in this digital time and age. You can visit our website www.cyberbacker.com and follow our social media pages on Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, YouTube, and Spotify.